Bitcoin has fallen by 17.62% in the last 6 days, and that has quite a few people scared. These people are probably new to the space, haven't seen corrections in the crypto industry like this before. 17.62% though is nothing to be concerned with. Back in 2017, we used to see 40% corrections as if they were nothing and incredibly common. Back in 2021, we were seeing an average 20 to 25% corrections on the way up. So to see a correction of 17.62, I don't think is too bad. And I'm going to be going through my thoughts and opinions on what I think is going on here with Bitcoin next. Let's roll the intro and get right down into it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Bitcoin video update. Here we have a Bitcoin paired up with USDT on our 4-hour Binance chart. And so we're going to follow on from yesterday's video. Obviously, we have seen a bit of a pullback here, 17.62% since the 14th of March. Now, a lot of people are concerned with this, and there's a few bearish things going on here that we need to be a little bit concerned with for sure. However, there's also the bullish case here, and I want to kind of go through that as well. Obviously, following on from where we were about a week or so ago, we were, of course, talking about this upper range of 71,596 to 76,000 getting here. That was this area just here. And, you know, it's been great to kind of see that one kind of come in and get rejected from, because this is basically aligning very nicely with our expectations on where these moves were going. Now, the moves to the downside, and as I was saying yesterday, we want to be looking for a long position coming in around the 200 4-hour EMA. Okay, so today's price, that's 62,100. We did, of course, move down just a fraction here. Yesterday, we went down to a low of $62,100. So actually, it's 60,775, sorry. And, you know, that's been a great kind of place to be kind of looking, because that basically would have triggered our long position that we were talking about yesterday, right? Going long around this 200 EMA. Now, the concerns here are that we did actually close below the 200 EMA. That's not an ideal situation. You can see an automatic rebound, but yet still a second closure on this 4-hour time frame below the 200 EMA. This is bearish. We can't hide from that fact, right? Closing below the 200 EMA is not a good sign, and we are currently on this third candle. Now, if we can close back above the 200 EMA here, that's going to be our bullish signal for maybe confirming our long position. Okay, if we close below this 200 EMA yet again, I would probably be inclined to probably not be in a long position until we get a closed position above that 4-hour 200 EMA, right? And the reason for that is the 200 EMA is our trend filter, right? When the price action closed above, we're bullish, we go long on the market. And when we are closing positions below the 200 EMA, we're bearish and we should go short positions. So with two closed positions here, although we have wicks, which is causing some overlap, which we'll talk about in a moment, is giving me a little bit more ground for concern. We want to be a little bit cautious here. We don't want to jump into anything without first getting this closed position. Now, I'm tight for time today. I was going to save this video until this candle had closed, but I just don't have the time to do so. So hopefully this candle here, you know, at the point of recording, we are 7:38 UTC. Hopefully by the time that this candle closes, it's going to close above the 62,100. At the point of this video going live, you guys will know a little bit more than me. I have a doctor's appointment this morning, so I won't be seeing what this candle looks like at that time of closure. So hopefully this does close very well, and obviously at the point of seeing this video on YouTube, you guys will know where we close. And obviously I'm going to run through the scenarios on both of those. So with a closed position above the 200 EMA at 62,100, we go long as indicated with yesterday's video, and we'll be targeting out this higher range between the 50 EMA and 50 SMA. The 50 EMA being the blue line, the SMA being the yellow line. Now the 50 EMA here, the blue line, is currently coming in at 67,176. You can see here though that we have a trend line that is actually a little bit lower than that. So I would probably be a little bit more cautious and be looking at maybe bringing in the take profit in line with that trend line to the downside, and of course lifting up our stop loss to now represent our current wick low. So basically stop loss about 60,700, entry being about 62,300, and take profit up there at $66,500. Okay, that would be my approach to this. Risk reward ratio would be 2.56, and of course if I am to be leverage based trading, I'm going to be trading on BitGet. BitGet is my go-to platform when it comes to leverage based trades. There is an affiliate link to BitGet in the description down below, so if you haven't already checked it out, I urge you guys to do so. It is a fantastic platform, very easy to use both on the desktop and on the mobile devices. If you do use that link in the description down below, you are eligible for up to $30,000 of rewards and bonuses depending on how much you deposit and trade on the platform. There are terms and conditions associated with that. Not all countries and jurisdictions are eligible. For example, if you're in the UK, you are not eligible for those bonuses, but you can of course use the platform. So why not check it out? Link is in the description down below. So knowing that we have the potential for a long position, what are we going to do if we're looking for short positions? Well, if we are unfortunate enough to get a closed position below the 200 EMA for the third time in a row, here we'll go short on the market. Stop loss again above that previous wick that we saw here, and take profit. I'm going to target out some of these previous wick lows that we had as well, giving us again another risk reward ratio of about 1.78. So entry on this would be approximately 61,950, let's say, and our stop loss approximately 63,640, with our take profit being at around the $59,000. Okay, that would be my short position variation to this. I think we have a higher probability though that actually we're going to close above the 200 EMA, and we are likely to see the long position playing out. The reason and the rationale behind this, well, we can see that we have a lot of overlapping candlesticks here. Okay, this overlapping nature of candlesticks is an indication that the price action is weak to the downside. Okay, so this bearish move that we've seen, that 17.62%, although is freaking out some newbies in the space, it really isn't anything to be too concerned with by the looks of it. This is not the big crash that I am expecting to happen in the market. This is just a baby correction of something much bigger that is brewing in the background. Now, the overlapping nature of the candlesticks is showing us with that weakness. That weakness is basically saying to me that actually we will be looking for a significant long position for BTC rather than continuing going down. Now, we can of course continue this overlapping nature a little bit more. Following on from yesterday's video, we were talking about a descending wedge. That's no longer really a viable option that we have going on here. Instead, we have more of a parallel based channel to the downside with the overlapping nature of the candlesticks. So we can test out that higher trend line and go back down to the lower trend line, and we can continue the lower highs and the lower lows for a little bit longer, but I don't think that's really going to last all terribly too much more time. If we take a look at the stochastics, we can already see the dailies oversold, the 8 hours oversold, the 4 hours oversold, and the hourly is actually just lifting up right now. So from our stochastic RSI point of view, actually the price action is looking okay. We're actually gearing up for a bit of a move to the upside. That means that the lower highs and the lower lows and the overlapping candlesticks look like that is coming to an end, and we're about to launch to the upside. That means that we don't necessarily just want to take profit on this upper trend line necessarily, but we might want to lift our stop loss and follow the price action to the upside, because if we get a breakout of this channel, and you guys know how I like to trade breakouts, we'll be looking for a long position on a breakout scenario as well. So we can take profit and then re-enter if we get a breakout situation, and we'll target out those existing highs. Once again, real tight stop loss, and this one will give us a great risk reward ratio. So we've got some serious good options here coming out for long positions, not so much on the short positions outside of the bigger macro pictures. So if you're on the smaller time frames like the 1 hour, the 4 hour, we're looking more bullish. If we're looking at the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame, we're looking a little bit more on the bearish side. Now, in terms of the timeframes on that, that's all looking pretty good. So if we take the stochastics off and throw on our divergence indicator here on the 4 hour time frame, there's nothing major being indicated to us. We obviously saw the hidden bearish divergence just before we actually saw this move to the downside here, and we saw the bearish divergence as we hit in that upper area of our expectations as well. So all of that's played out quite nicely. On the 1 hour time frame though, we can see some bullish divergence forming, and this bullish divergence right down here, as you can see, with higher lows on the RSI, the relative strength index, whilst going down into lower lows on the price action here. This is telling us that we're about to get a bit of a lift to the upside. And so we have the bullish divergence flag being indicated to us on the 1 hour time frame. So although not here on the 4 hour, we can definitely see there is progression to the upside to be had for BTC. Volume wise, volume has started to pick up as we started to push up here, and we will be looking to see if we can breach some of these existing highs. So we have a higher high on the volume side. That is going to be another indication that things are actually heating up now for BTC. Now, following on from where I was talking about yesterday, we had the potential for a bigger move to the upside. This might be something that takes a little bit of time to play out, probably a week or maybe two, but we would potentially see the price action here heading out more towards that kind of $75,000 to $80,000 right up in this upper area. Okay, so when we're talking about that breakout of this kind of parallel channel to the downside with the overlapping candlesticks, what I'm talking about here is a breakout situation up towards $75,000 to $80,000, but that's going to take a long time to play out. So we talk about these little baby trades on the 4 hour and 1 hour timeframes, but also we can talk about those daily breakout situations where we see much bigger gains to be made. And if we were to trade a breakout situation here, as in we have this little trade going on, we get a close above the downward trend line here, tight stop loss, our profit is going to be all the way up there at 75K in my opinion, with a good risk reward ratio of around 5.43 approximately. It really does depend, of course, on where you put your stop loss on that one. But for the most part, everything here is actually gearing up quite nicely for a bigger break to the upside. Once this completes, though, there isn't really much else I can see going on, and we'll probably be looking for that bigger macro correction once this plays out. So word of caution, I guess, here. Expect a move to the upside, but I don't expect it to be long-lived. And from there, I do expect further moves to the downside. Now, guys, if you are looking for a little bit more, why not consider subscribing if you're new? And if you have enjoyed today's video, smash that like button and check out this video here. Chris has got some pretty interesting things he's talking about in terms of trillions of dollars flowing into Bitcoin.